Okay, so guys, let me show you how my $1 million setup looks like. Or you can call it a $1 billion setup or just a good setup. Yeah, so I have a setup of one laptop, one secondary monitor, a mouse, no keyboard, and a stand. So let me show you and let me tell you why I call my setup a $1 billion setup or a $1 million setup. And if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, also let me know. So let's see what I have as my setup. Yeah, so this is my main machine or my only computer. This is a laptop, HP Pavilion 1000 GB or 1 TB HDD. It has a RAM of 8 GB. It has a RAM of 8 GB, HDD 1 TB, and it's actually Core i5 8th gen. So this machine was bought way back in 2019. So which means 2025, this machine is close to 6 or 5 years. 5 years complete. We are heading the 6th year with this machine, and it still looks pretty new because I have really, maintained my machine. I really take care of it. I don't love any scratches on my machine. Plus, I just have some few stickers here and there. These stickers haven't bought. These are for tech events and just Microsoft community. Yeah, so this machine is SSD. I haven't replaced anything in terms of memory or even upgrading it to SSD. The only thing I've changed in this machine is the battery. Yeah, the battery was so weak, so I had to replace it. Now, this alone is a $1 billion setup, and I'll tell you why. So let's go to the next component of my setup. Now, the next component of my setup is this monitor. This monitor is a Dell monitor, full HD, and it's a refurbished monitor, 24 inches. So this monitor, I don't need it. It is not necessary. I don't need it. It is not necessary, but it's very handy. So this and this makes my $1 million setup or $1 billion setup. This alone can also be a $1 billion setup. This one cannot work on its own. So without this, this is useless. Something else that I have in my setup is just my mouse. This mouse is a generic mouse. I bought at 800 shillings. I love it because of the LEDs, the lightings. Yeah, I love the lightings. So you can see, I have some lightings too on the wall. Yeah. And then the last thing in my setup is my stand. You can see I have laptop stand here. Now, why am I saying my setup is a $1 billion setup? Because I can still work with this machine to build any kind of application that I want without having to include a secondary monitor or without even a stand. Just the laptop alone, I can build anything I want. What matters is the performance of my laptop. I can be having like many screens, a powerful laptop, many screens. This one here, one on the right, one on top there, and or even a Mac. But what matters for me is you have a machine. What can you build? What skills do you have to build something using your machine? So something that someone who has a very stylish setup, very expensive one, I can build what they can build. So me having this, I can still compete with someone who also has, a very complex setup where we have this machine right here, a MacBook, another LG 65-inch here. So it doesn't matter. But for convenience, they really help in terms of you can, for example, if right now I am building an API and I need to work with Postman, I need to work with Visual Studio Code, I need to work with MongoDB Campus. Sometimes I need to work with another browser for example, this is the output, like the preview of what I'm currently building. So sometimes switching in between or splitting this my small screen into two is not really convenient. So if I have a secondary monitor like this, I have my VS Code here, and then I have my, how do we call, a preview here. I can have my Postman running here, and also the MongoDB campus. Because this screen is so big, I can split it. On the one side, I have what we call, let's do this. I can have this preview here, and then on this end, I can have Postman on top like that. Let's see how it will appear there. So I'll just drag it and have it somewhere there. And then I can also have my MongoDB campus just right down here. So you see, like at a glance, I can be able to see what's happening with my application, how everything changes. So I can just resize this one and have it down here. Look, let me just drag that. We can resize to a size that we want. Yeah. So let me show you that. Wait. Okay. So I told you my machine is very powerful. That's why I have to wait for it to do its thing. Yep. Yeah, something of the sort. So it has, it gives me convenience. I'll have my laptop here, my three more windows here, Campus, Postman, and my web browser where I preview what I'm building. So yeah, I mean, if you have just a laptop, you don't really need all this stuff here, but for convenience, you might need them to make your work easier. So as you build, you can be able to see everything you are building at a glance. Yeah, so I mean, look at that. So yeah, so do you agree with me that what I'm having here is $1 billion setup or $1 million setup? And yours too is the same setup I'm having. I mean, what matters here is productivity. Though having more than one screen, external keyboard, and having your computer right in the center can be very productive because you don't have to switch in between, and also it's convenient. But if you don't have zero pressure, you don't, I mean, it's not a must, it's not a requirement for you to build something. To build something, all you need is your skills and also just a single computer. Yeah, with the time, you can now like build, add some components to your setup, like two more monitors or just one big monitor, 65-inch or even 50-inch, 32-inch can really be really helpful. Yeah, so I mean, that is what I have for my setup. Everything I build from here. My machine is HDD, 8 GB RAM, 8th Gen Core i5, and I've been using it for the past 5 years. I haven't bought a new machine. The only thing I have replaced in my machine is the battery, which I had spoiled. It was my mistake. Yeah. So, I mean, bye guys. See you in another video.